Hey church, I'm Colleen, and I'm so honored to share with you today one of my favorite stories out of the Gospels. It comes from the book of Mark, chapter 5, verses 2 through 5. Let's read it together. It says this: When Jesus climbed out of the boat, a man possessed by an evil spirit came out from the tombs to meet him. This man lived in the burial caves and could no longer be restrained, even with a chain. Whenever he was put into chains and shackles, as he often was, he snapped the chains from his wrist and smashed the shackles. No one was strong enough to subdue him. Day and night he wandered among the burial caves and in the hills, howling and cutting himself with sharp stones. This man was stuck in a mess. You see, Jesus and his disciples had traveled to the region of Gerasene. And upon arriving, they met a man who was possessed by multiple demons. You see, Matthew's account tells us that he was so bad off, that he was so violent that people wouldn't even travel to that area. The man's condition, he was naked and homeless and living in the tombs outside of the town. People had tried to help him, but we learned that he simply broke out of the shackles and chains when he was placed under guard and shackled. He would continuously be screaming and cutting himself. This man had no control over his life and could not be helped by others. I read this fantastic historical fiction book based on this story called Madman, and it shaped just the journey that this man had walked through in a fiction way, but so beautifully captured where he was in his struggles. But Jesus walked straight into it. And this man came to meet Jesus right upon his arrival. Jesus wasn't afraid of the mess that he was in. You see, he saw Jesus coming and rushed over and bowed down before him. I love that. That man who was in a mess, he knew that he was shackled and chained, that no one wanted to help him, that he ran straight to Jesus. That just shows the authority that Jesus had, even over demonic spirits. I love it because one of the versions talks about how Jesus had to give permission to cast out these demons. He gave permission to the demons of where to go. That Jesus has authority over the areas of our life that are the biggest messes. And he cast these demons out of the man and into some pigs nearby. And these pigs jumped off the cliff and drowned. It must have been a crazy sight to see, just thousands of pigs running and jumping off a cliff. But this got the attention of the herdsmen who came to the fields and saw what had happened and asked Jesus to leave. When the people found them, they were astonished at this man. They saw this man freed. You see, Jesus had removed the bondage that was upon him and his oppression. He was sitting at Jesus' feet, restored in his humanity. He was fully clothed, that Jesus had restored his dignity and his sanity. And he was perfectly sane. He was a man of sound mind. He exercised self-control. Jesus met this man in the middle of his mess and brought freedom. John 8:36 says, when the Son sets you free, you are truly free. But this man, he didn't just get out of his mess. Jesus gave him a mission. The man wanted to go and just be with Jesus. And Jesus said, no, go back to your people and tell them what has happened. Tell them everything that has happened. Jesus gave this man a mission, and he told his story to everyone. God gives us boldness and courage, the power of the Holy Spirit to share what God's done in our life, to share about the mess that he's healed us from and walked us through, about the freedom to the bondage that he has let us out of. We are called to do the same. You see, Jesus is not afraid of our mess. He's not afraid of what you're walking in right now, the struggles that you're dealing with. We find healing when we bring those things to Jesus. Jesus can heal both our physical and emotional brokenness. But Jesus gives us a mission. When he walks us through that mess to freedom and healing and wholeness and sanity, he gives us a mission to tell others about him, about what he has done in our lives. So like that man in the story, we're called to go and tell the world. Today, I want to just give you one simple challenge. I want to encourage you that God meets you in your mess, but that when he frees you and heals you and delivers you and restores you and brings you to a place of freedom, he gives you a mission. So today, Go and tell the world what God has done in your life. Go and share with others the message of the good news of the gospel, that he has healed us and freed us and saved us. And he wants to do the same for the world, those in your world today. Go and encourage them and be encouraged. See you soon.